You have to take them all the time and make the kids fat.
Yeah, you don't
That's
take
what
them
they're
every
saying.
goddamn day.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
my children would eat McDonald's like all the time if they could, but don't let them.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
Same reason I don't give them a cigarette. I don't give them alcohol.
I don't give them weed.
Much. Not my weed anyway. They have to work and buy their own.
I'd definitely share a joint with a kid. Like, not a kid. With my kid.
Oh God. Okay, we just learned something about Nathan there.
Weird, yeah.
Hello, Internet. Now please, hold on to your butt, as two comedians attempt to talk about serious subjects in a not-so-serious manner. From the mysterious to the utterly vicious, everything is fair game. This is the Kill Them With Comedy podcast, featuring true crime, amazing events, conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and an array of weird and wonderful topics, all for your enjoyment. You're welcome.
And that proves that even people that you would trust with your life can, at some point, go fucking crazy.
Now that sounds like an absolute jam. But it's actually just KTWC in Morse code.
That is basically how people in the war would react to us before they even knew us, before we even existed. But they were talking about us. They were sending messages about us.
I've been sending Morse code versions of the podcast back in time for weeks now.
Well, it'd be weird not. I mean, you have a time machine anyway.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
You do have an actual time machine.
Yeah.
Tell us about your time machine, actually, before you go.
Yeah.
Wow. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fucking brilliant, wouldn't it? Having a time machine, mate.
I was on about your sketch show.
Yeah. They do definitely have to.
Destroyed my fucking segue.
I'm sorry.
Do the fucking plug. Kill my segue.
Jesus Christ.
We tried.
Post-apocalyptic metal treehouse is a sketch show that I make that involves time travellers, as Carl was trying to make me realise he was trying to push, but I'm too dumb. Regardless, it's a really...
Welcome to my life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the dumb one normally anyway. So.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but, now you've got competition. Anyway, so... Yes, we've got that show out there. It's on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, iTunes, wherever you
I still
find
don't know
your
what
podcasts.
Stitcher is.
Yeah,
I haven't got a clue what Stitcher is.
It's just like a podcast app. And I still haven't put it on Google Podcasts, which is lame. I will get around to that, Google people. My apologies.
You should check because Kill Them in Comedy, this, like, and all the other ones, apparently is on a lot more platforms than I realised, so it might send them there on its own.
That'd be interesting.
Like,
yeah, because I've got the SoundCloud as the RSS feed. This is all technical bullshit that you don't necessarily need to know. Also, like, yeah, we're here.
I was about to say, that's why we're getting lost talking about random stuff like that, because we're actually in a freaking room together being able to talk, which is cool.
Yeah.
Still being safe, keeping our distance and stuff.
Yeah.
For good reason.
We've got the gap. We know what we're doing.
So today's Sunday the 18th, and tomorrow Freedom Day, isn't it?
Tomorrow's Freedom Day, supposedly.
In the UK, this is for anyone watching anywhere else, which before I might have thought was being a bit stupid about what they were doing more so than England, because I thought we were doing quite good for a while. Not now.
No.
The new stuff, which was what I was on about.
Yeah.
So right now, the new health minister has got COVID.
Sajid Javid.
Boris is once again in quarantine, in isolation or something. But basically they're saying, so tomorrow, all the restrictions go down, but then in a few weeks, expect another lockdown with harsher restrictions to come back into place. Oh, what?
Why do that then? Why are we doing it? If that's going to happen, what's the point?
That's what I'm saying. How is it ever going to... Why? Just... Mom said that to me not long before you got here. I was like...
I'm trying to hope... I'm hoping I'm not breaking the levels here, because that was a shocking revelation.
I'll put the finger...
Jesus. Yeah, sorry. Did I get across the levels? I don't know.
It's kind of worth it for this situation.
Yeah.
Because it's fucking ridiculous. Like, I heard that and I generally... I don't even know what I'm trying to do, really.
I think we're okay. I'll try not to get quite so surprised.
I don't care that much, to be honest. I can turn it down.
But that's madness. They're just like, oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. Go enjoy yourselves. But certain people will probably get fucked up. Just enjoy.
So yeah, all the restrictions go off tomorrow. We can do whatever basically, but then just expect in a few weeks for us to all lock down again because the numbers are going up. So it makes perfect sense. So Opening everything up now. It's fucking ridiculous. It is so dumb.
Oh god! And there was a show that I was supposed to be on, and I didn't end up going to it, where someone ended up coming down with it. So.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's out there. It's still
It is
definitely out there.
And that is a safety message from Nathan. It is out there.
It is out there.
To be fair, you know, I make the joke in that, like, I've legitimately met a few people lately that really think it's just made up still, like proper made up. Yeah. It's kind of saddening to know that those people exist. Not because they're going against the government or anything, just y'all are dumb. Don't know how else to say it.
The thing is, I know people who have the opinion, it's like, oh, well, you know, but is it though? And is this? And it's like, oh, I get it, you're questioning it. But it's like, you're questioning the wrong people. You're not questioning the government, realistically, because the government are doing the stupid shit like unlocking the fucking country. They're being dumb as fuck.
Question the government, definitely that one.
Definitely question the government, because they're clearly being stupid in this scenario. But don't question scientists. You don't need to. Like, there's a reason why science is the way it is, and that's because you get like multiple studies from multiple people that are all provable factually. Yeah, because you can run those same experiments anywhere and get exactly the same results.
You don't need to question the scientists very much, because the scientists are already being questioned by the other scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
And themselves.
Yeah.
That's literally what science is.
Otherwise, they wouldn't be allowed to do this shit. That's the whole point. But people don't trust scientists anymore.
But we trust Boris.
Yeah, we trust Boris Johnson.
We trusted Boris, we trusted Trump, trusted Biden. I love people, don't understand them, don't understand us, we're a weird species.
Yep. It seems like a good place to be at the moment would be
what's that
New
island
Zealand.
Gilligan was on? Oh no, it's a desert island. That's all. Just away from people.
Yeah, no, I think New Zealand's a good one because they've got that Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, and she just seems so fucking chill, man. And it's like
what?
Jacinda Ardern, I think it is, or something like that. And she's
personal.
Like, yeah, she's
okay.
like way too like socialist for a lot of people, but I don't really care. And she's just this really cool bird, and she's like, no, we're not going to really let these people come into our country, because if we do, then we're going to have a serious problem. So instead, we're just going to lock down, and then as soon as people are gone, we can start up again. And it's like, yeah, that's the logical way of doing that shit. And if every country had done that shit at the start, this stuff would have been over in about 6 months. But it's like, oh no, we can't harm the economy. It would be so bad to shut down the economy for like 3 months. Yeah, but look at the amount of damage we've done now.
It's
you
okay.
Fucking morons.
Everything's going to be opening up tomorrow, and it's going to be a full economy.
It's going to be
for
a
like
full
2 weeks.
economy for 2 weeks.
Literally, they've even said this now.
And then they're going to go in lockdown again. And this time, they're probably not going to give anyone the grace of a fucking furlough scheme or anything like that.
That reminds me of another. Randomly, I watched a few quiz shows like yesterday. Random facts are popping into my head. April 2020. Which of these words got put into the dictionary? I just remember the ones I can remember: furlough or self-isolate.
Self-isolate, I imagine.
Okay. See, I assumed furlough, but self-isolate. It's a very stupid phrase when you think about it. Self-isolate. There is no other way you can isolate.
Yeah.
It's very fucking true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is pretty fucking stupid. It's like saying it's a pointy needle. It's well, it's not going to be a fucking round one, is it? You know?
A sharp knife. Oh, I suppose you can get. Yeah.
You can get blunt knives, yeah, but like a needle is always pointy. It's never not going to be pointy unless it's not a needle anymore.
Yeah. Oh, I love how fucked up things are.
Yeah, that, by the way, was a bit of like Confucius-style wisdom from me right there. That was,
I'm still going back to the Korg.
Yeah.
Wait,
the New Zealand.
New Zealand, that's it, yeah.
And the way I've always described it is it's quite simple. So, Australian accent, back of the throat. It's right at the back of the throat, just deep and sort of, flaming galah, shit like that.
Galah.
Yeah. It's all just back there because it's quite a sort of chilled, laid back kind of environment that they all live in, And then, of course, in New Zealand, it's all from the front of the mouth, and that's where all the sort of precise little sort of twerks come from. And that's how you get that little sort of sharp S's and things like that that are sort of a bit different to...
I don't know why I'm even fucking
Australia.
attempting little things. I'm not even going to do it. I was thinking about trying. I'm like, it's pointless, it'll all come out the same, and it'll probably be racist in some manner, apparently, nowadays.
It's probably a little bit racist in some way, I don't know how.
Oh, talk about racist, though. I did something that you said to the other day, because I just finished Community now.
Yeah.
I'm going for all the sitcoms, so I finally started watching and got very into it very quickly. Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh mate, that fucking show is so goddamn good.
It's fucking, but at the same time, it must be older than I realised. I don't know when it started.
Oh yeah, it started ages ago. It started in early 2000s, I think 2005.
It's not even HD. It started and it was squashed out. What's going on?
Standard definition square TV.
I started on the second season because I know a lot of people said to me the first season's not that great. You want to do the second season because Danny DeVito.
Here's the thing. You're going to love it even more now. You know how they made that first episode? They used Charlie Day's home camera. They made the pilot and they sold the pilot.
Oh, the first episode?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Season
in
one.
the bar that they actually worked in at the time, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. So is it a different bar in the latest ones, or is it the same bar the whole time?
I think if the first two seasons, I think it's the actual bar.
Oh,
and then after that they make a set version of the bar and
I did know, that makes sense though, actually, because I noticed a few things when I was watching it, like the one where they go on welfare, they walk in and there's this one extra that as soon as the shot starts, they're looking at the person behind the desk and it turns, looking to them walking through the door, but this extra just looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
As soon as it gets to him, he's just watching it and it's like...
Yeah.
Like, no one saw that.
Yeah.
And they just left it in and it's just there still.
Yeah, because they couldn't keep going back and doing the shot over and over again.
Yeah. And it makes perfect sense now as well. Now you said this, because at the beginning it's just literally shots of of Philadelphia, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really easy to film.
Yeah.
I need to
from a car, from inside a car. It's just, and they used music that was old enough and that no one really cared about, that it was really cheap to use the rights to play it.
Oh yeah, I was about to say it was 70 years, but that's here, isn't it, in the UK? It's 70 years, and you can use something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it is in America, but I think basically when it comes to that kind of shit, you just chuck them $5 and they're like, okay, you can use it for 6 years.
Oh, that's really good. I'll appreciate that even more.
Yeah.
It's just though,
I love that shit. I love that punk attitude of fuck it, do it yourself.
Yeah, I love that. But one thing with that program though is straight away, the first 2 or 3 episodes, they get addicted to crack, and I was like, oh, it's not really crack, is it? But no, they're just addicted to crack.
Yeah, they're addicted to crack, straight
completely.
up crack. Yeah.
Addicted to steroids as well in one of the other episodes. It's just alright. And then they do the whole jihadi bit.
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck?
What episode are you at the moment? What series are you at?
Literally, I'm only on season 2. I started watching it last night.
Oh my god, mate, you've got so
much
to do. Oh my god. This is going to get so goddamn good so quickly. Season 4 is where the show unlocks into full-fledged what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you can tell at the moment that it's still kind of figuring itself out.
Yeah. Well, season 3 is really bloody good, but as soon as you're in season 2, you've already got Danny DeVito, so you're sold.
I fucking love Danny DeVito as well.
Man, he's
really
so good in that as well.
Oh, and when he
was only supposed to do an episode.
Really?
Yeah, he was only supposed to do one episode as a guest, and he's like, I enjoyed that shit so much, I want to do every single episode. Put me in as a main character. Write me in.
He wasn't even that old either, so it feels like, he must have still been doing films and at the time.
It was the tail end of his film career. I think it was...
Yeah, near the end,
how old he is now. He's probably 70 years old now, something like that.
It's really hard to tell because he's just... It's so strange because he's such a tiny person. He's not got was it dwarfism or anything like that. He's just very short.
Squat, yeah, and he sort of seems to have something wrong with him, but no one can be entirely
mentally,
sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and there's an interview
Don't
that
we
you
all?
can see behind the scenes. This is something you can find on YouTube, and it's just I think it's the guy who plays Mac I think it was,
one's
talking
Matt?
about
The one who
Danny
banged
DeVito.
his mom.
Yeah, and he's like,
Yeah.
I've never seen someone be powered by vodka.
Oh,
Like,
actually, by
apparently
Danny
he's just
DeVito.
constantly like pouring drinks and making it a party on set, and yeah,
So he's basically the guy.
he's basically
Yeah.
the G. Yeah.
No, I mean the actual guy he's playing.
Oh, he's the
as
guy
well.
he's playing. Yeah, he's basically Frank. Yeah,
Yeah.
he is Frank. Yeah.
I'd never seen much of Charlie Day, and I'd always heard a lot about him as well. So this is the first little bit I've seen of him. And there was one bit then that was popped in my head about something that happened. That was it. When Danny DeVito punched the other old guy in the boxing ring, and he knocked his daughter, and he did $1 Million Baby thing where he fell, slapped his neck, and he was like, "Oh shit!" and just ran out.
Yeah.
Fucking great. Community as well, though, because I was watching that, and I got to the end of it now, and I liked it more and more as it went. I still find those episodes where he goes to randomness weird.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how I feel about some of them. Most of them I don't like, to be fair, actually. Like the G.I. Jeff one in the last series.
Oh, I loved that one.
It seemed alright for like the first 20 seconds. I don't know, because I just skipped the rest of it until he woke up.
Oh,
didn't he?
mate.
And then the first thing he said once I got past the skip as well, it was like, well, that was all a dream, so none of it actually mattered. I was like, I did the right thing. I did the right thing by skipping it then. But in general, I love it. I love Arbed. Arbed's amazing.
Arbed's a fucking great character. He's really good. And it's weird because he's not had enough work since Danny Pudi, the guy who plays... I think it's Danny Pudi anyway.
It's kind of like that with most of them, isn't it, though? Because it's like that with Arbed. It was like that with Dwight from The Office.
Troy, though, like...
Troy, yeah, Donald Glover.
He's, Danny Glover is out there just... Is it Danny Glover or is it...
It's
Donald Glover. It's Donald Glover.
Yeah, Donald Glover.
Because
Yeah,
Danny Glover's the older one, which is always the thing that confuses me. Because it's like Danny should be the younger one, if you know.
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah. The two Dannys, that was it. Yeah, because Danny DeVito and him. I remember from Jumanji. That's how I remember it now.
Yeah.
Childish Gambino as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Oh, he's fucking brilliant.
I noticed the ship that he went off on was the Childish something. I noticed that little Easter egg as he went off on the ship. The Piers gave him.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't notice that. I should have paid attention.
I was waiting for him to come back though the whole time because he was my favourite character. I realised as he left how much I loved him.
Yeah.
Kept thinking he was coming back, just never did. Shirley came back.
Yeah.
I like Shirley.
But the thing is, without...
Chevy Chase didn't come back, and I loved his character in it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I know something went on. I remember
he was
hearing
a
it.
dick.
Yeah, but yeah.
But 6 seasons in a movie, man. We've got the 6 seasons. We just need that movie now, and I still want the movie. There's still,
talking about
still that. You've seen all of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I have now. Yeah.
There's that bit, that sort of little Easter egg where the dean from the other university is like staring down at a giant robot spider, and it's like, yes, I want to see that. I want to see him try and make a fucking giant robot spider on a college budget. I want to see what that looks like.
I think I'd rather see. I want to know who the ass crack bandit is. That's who I want to know. I want to know.
That'd be fascinating.
I want to know who the ass crack bandit is. I know who I think it was, and there was a little Easter egg at the end of it, and I was like, I think it's I forget her name, the woman.
Annie?
Yeah, Annie. Yeah, I think it was her. But
yeah, I'd probably.
it's
put
very
money on
niche for
Annie.
anyone that hasn't watched this. But there's a whole episode about someone creeping up behind people and putting a penny or whatever the American equivalent is in between their butt cheeks.
Yeah.
And it's not sexual either, which is shocking.
No. And of course,
the
it can all be
incest
solved by wearing overalls.
Yeah, safety pants. Leonard comes out in them. Safety pants! Safety pants! Oh, I've been watching a lot of sitcoms lately. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to watching, I think it's 13 more seasons of Philadelphia.
Yeah, oh mate, they're all fucking brilliant. Every single one of them is fucking brilliant. And you think they're going to be losing it at a certain point, and then it's like, oh no, they're back, and it's even better.
You notice that, don't you, when you watch them? There's a lot of lulls. I notice that a lot in Community. There's a lot of lulls where it's like, okay, and then it will just get good, and then it'll go down. They'll bring a new character, and they'll be like, okay, I like that person.
There's only a couple of lulls in It's Always Sunny. Only a couple.
I can imagine because they seem to be not afraid to do fucking anything.
Yeah, that doesn't stop either.
At all. And this is, I suppose it was longer ago. I'd be interested to see the further it goes along if they keep up with that the whole way through.
Yeah.
Because, God, the stuff I've seen already in the second season, in the first 5 episodes, you could not do that today. That jihad scene, just the main one. Just them going to the mic with a towel on the head, Allah, give me a weapon. What?
There's an episode later on where you will just find yourself going, no, they're not going to. There's no way they could. And this was when they filmed it, it was when I was, or when it released rather, it was when I was doing my micro budget film for my friend at university, and that was like 4-5 years ago max.
That's when you first saw it.
Yeah. And even then, it was like the world was woke and ready to be there, you know. And you just find yourself going, "Oh, mate, you can't do this." And I can't spoil it, and that's the only thing. But oh my god, mate!
I kind of want you to tell me, because at the same, give me just an idea of what it is, because I don't think it will make a difference, because I'm already. Yeah, go on, give me an idea.
It's a quantum leap with racial overtones.
Okay. Okay, yeah, anything in that. Well, actually, to be fair, jihad, what am I on about? It doesn't surprise me, so cool.
That's all I'll say, but you'll know exactly which episode, and you'll go like, they won't actually, and they will.
Okay. No, I know what I'm thinking of. Doesn't matter,
No.
I don't know.
They're like
Quantum
the live
Leap, do I know
action South
Quantum
Park.
Leap? I was thinking of the Quantum Leap side of it then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I even know what Quantum Leap is, but I know roughly what
It's
kind
one
of
where
thing it is.
Scott Bakula, like...
I'm thinking of the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, he travels through time fixing like problems with people's lives by like becoming a person in that timeline.
Oh, okay.
And when he looks in a mirror, he sees himself, but his reflection, but everyone else sees him a different way. And in one of them, I shit you not, in one of the greatest things ever, he turns up and he looks in a mirror and he goes, "Oh my god, I'm R-worded." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you see that photo a lot.
Yeah.
That's a very recent one, though, that's become not as acceptable to say.
Yeah, I still want to say it. I like that word. And I never used it for those people. I never used it for anything like that. I would never call anyone who was,
Just put flame in front of it. And ent at the end. You're acting very flame retardant. Safe way to say it.
You're acting very information retardant.
There you go.
Oh, we've got it back. We've solved it. Carl, you genius.
We talk about information retardant. We can't be information retardant too much longer. We need to know what the topic is this week.
What's the time? Oh, okay. I see where we're at. That's
Well, I don't
not
know
the
if
right time. That's a different time.
That's not the right time.
I'm going to have a look at the time.
4:30. Oh yeah, because we should have mentioned as well, we're on a time schedule today because we are both performing at the Hollybush Bushfest.
Very shortly.
Very shortly, yeah. I mean, it's 4:30 now. So we're
going to leave here 5:30 at the latest. So I've got an hour.
2.5 hours till you're on, and then it's like, or something like that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then like 3 hours till I'm on or something. Something like that.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I got, like I said,
oh
I got
no,
like
my
a whole...
phone's going to die as well. We've got to do this quick. Okay, so this is.
Have you got a charger? I mean, you can whack.
It's in my phone. It's in my car. I'll deal with it later. Right. So today is one that I've been wanting to do for a while. I've suggested it a few times before, and I thought because it's in person, we can do this one. We can do this one pretty well.
Okay.
This is the UK weed conspiracy.
God, okay.
Right.
Oh, this is going to be a discussion then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, part one, the hypocrisy that is Victoria Atkins. Now, Drugs Minister Victoria Atkins has been accused of hypocrisy on a grand scale over her husband's involvement in a legal cannabis farm. This was a headline from a article back when Theresa May was in power.
This might have something to do with the little thing I think someone mentioned to me when I'm getting high, and one of the times recently. Okay, cool. Yeah. I think I know a little bit about this, but I didn't know any of the information behind it.
Yeah. So, her husband, Paul Kenwood, was obviously married to her for a long time, is managing director of British Sugar, licensed to grow non-psychoactive cannabis. The Home Office said that Mrs. Atkins declared the fact in Parliament when she was appointed minister in 2017. She has previously spoken out against the Class B drug.
So, non-psychoactive.
The non-psychoactive.
Okay.
So they're originally just doing the CBD, but as it goes along, they eventually get the license to do the THC version as well.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Peter Reynolds, president of Clear Campaign for Cannabis Law Reform, said, "It's not just a conflict of interests, it's hypocrisy on a grand scale. The reason she was appointed is Theresa May was looking for someone who was a hardline prohibitionist. The Tory party's policy on drugs, cannabis in particular, is directly opposed to the evidence, and Victoria Atkins is someone who supports that. But what is appalling is she doesn't just want to support it for policy reasons. Quite evidently, she wants to support it because her husband and family are directly benefiting from the regulation of it." A Home Office statement said in 2016, British Sugar was granted a Home Office licence to grow a non-psychoactive variant of the cannabis plant.
I mean, first of all, how the hell do you even go about getting those licenses?
Yeah.
And how do I get one?
Yep. How the fuck do I get a licence? Because I want to know.
But naturally, a sugar company can have one. That makes perfect sense.
And this is the thing that you'll see as it goes along. There's a reoccurring theme in this of people who already have way too much money wanting to control the industry before it's an industry. And that is what we're going through. And I'm sort of putting the evidence together for it. I think we could do a whole great big documentary on this shit.
It's plutocracy at its worst.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned on the quizzes yesterday, Cameron.
Ah, very good.
Full of facts today.
So,
half of them will be correct.
the licence was issued in 2016 before Miss Atkin became a parliamentary Under-Secretary of State for Crime, Safeguarding and Vulnerable... the thing was safeguarding and vulnerability of the... What the fuck?
Whatever. Stop acting so flame retardant.
I'm so information retardant.
We're bringing it back.
Yeah, we are bringing it back. I don't care if you want it or not. It's happening, all right? Okay. It was in the news in June after people living nearby complained of a smell of weed. This is the starting of an article where
it's always weird, isn't it, how people that complain about it know exactly what it smells like, though.
Yeah, and this is where the farm was based as well, is in Kent. And it's like, yeah, of course, you're going to grow weed in Kent because it's the garden of the UK. Like, you can grow any shit in Kent, supposedly. Like, fucking Jesus Christ, people. They want to have the finest weed of all available to all mankind, and they want it here and they want it now, but they don't want it anywhere near you.
We all do know that English bud generally isn't very good.
Oh, that's the problem, though, isn't it?
The classic English back in the day, like I'm talking like...
Great. We could be great.
We could be great.
Sorry, I've recently trimmed my nostril hair, and it's quite tickly.
I wish I could.
Yeah, I got the buzzer for it, and you just go...
I'm just not manly enough to be able to grow much facial hair.
Oh, that's terrible.
It is terrible.
Yeah.
I've recently realised that it seems to be a thing that you can have hair on the head, but people... You can't seem to grow facial hair until you start losing the hair on your head. So I want to go bald now.
No, you don't.
Oh, I do. If the hair follicles need gravity, if they need to go down, if that's what it takes, I get a pressure washer to help it along and everything.
You'd rather be bearded and bald than...
Yeah, man. I got a big ass head. It's cool. I can shave it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think I've got a weird shaped head for baldness. I don't think I could get away with it.
Yeah.
I've got that lumpy bit that people get back of their head.
It's called a tumour. It's not a tumour.
Not a tumour. No. God, it's not a tumour.
I don't know why I tried to do an impression with you here. I like
it. It just sets me up. What was I saying? So yeah, the complaints of a smell of weed after the plants were harvested from this particular farm in Kent, owned again by British Sugar, a big ass corporation. Speaking in Parliament in July last year, he said, "I must first declare an interest because..." Well, this is the Victoria Atkins when she was speaking in Parliament. "I must declare an interest because my husband works for a company that has a license to grow non-psychoactive versions of cannabis to treat epileptic conditions in children. It's groundbreaking work, but I thought I should declare it, given that I will be talking about the psychoactive version of cannabis in due course, a very different substance." No, it's not.
So...
It's not a very different substance, Victoria. It's not. It's almost identical in every way, apart from missing one chemical. A chemical that does nothing but make you feel a bit good and hungry.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically.
So why is that a problem? And not only that, but like, there's no proof at all that THC itself is dangerous, is there?
Well, no, not physically dangerous. There's mental
repercussions,
to it as well,
but there are with every drug.
There are with everything,
and gambling can
nothing
have
like
those.
alcohol.
Yeah, and gambling.
Every time, gambling, yeah.
Gambling is more dangerous for you than fucking weed. You'll get your legs broken far easier than that.
I used to work in the bookies in Chelmsford Wood. Believe me, yeah.
Yeah.
Gambling, well, yeah.
Bad for your health.
Very bad for your health.
Yeah.
In every way.
Yeah.
Great for the bookie's pocket though.
So yeah, but this is the yeah.
They track everyone. You don't realise that. They track every single person that comes in regularly.
Yeah.
You know, to see how much they've won over any time and how much they've put in, to see how it balances, and nobody is winning. No one is winning.
Yeah. That sounds about right. The house always wins.
This makes a lot of sense though, because it's like, because I was wondering that when they were talking about, because there was that whole thing about kids that had epilepsy were suddenly getting
access to cannabis.
Yeah, and I was
but
wondering where's that coming
happens
from.
even later in this story.
Okay, because that's where they were growing it for originally though.
Yeah,
that's where they were growing it for.
Yeah, that happens in about 2018, 2019. This is in 2016 still.
I just think it could have been when it started up, because I remember the one kid specifically. But then again, that was still like, that would have been 5 years ago. Actually, I'm forgetting how long ago.
We'll definitely get to
okay,
it. Yeah.
It just makes a lot of sense hearing about how they're getting around that, because I was just wondering how they got around any of it.
Yeah, and of course it's this thing again, like, it's what companies do. They put their foot into the foothold in this particular area, and they're like, we want to have this. And it's like, we don't want anyone else to have it. And that's what pisses me off, because in America it's a very different thing. It's a grassroots campaign that has made weed legal in the US.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not so much here. And if it does get legalised here, it will get legalised by big companies who want to make a profit off of it. And they won't allow anyone to grow shit themselves. It'll be like a Monsanto type situation.
Yeah.
And you'll only be able to get it to a certain potency, and you'll only be able to get it with this and that and that. And it's just, I don't need this shit.
I accept them not being able to grow, because I think technically you're not allowed to like brew alcohol, are you?
Yeah, well, no, you are allowed to brew alcohol. You're allowed to brew beer. You're allowed to brew wine. There's only one thing you're not allowed to do, and that's have a distillery. If you're distilling something to make whiskey, the reason why you can't have it is because if it goes wrong, it can potentially explode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's just like a fire thing more rather than
yeah, exactly. But you can still brew. You can get home brew kits and stuff like that.
Okay, so realistically, you can see that if they did legalise bud over here, then definitely it would be in the shops. You wouldn't be able to grow it and stuff.
Yeah, they'll just be like, oh no, you wouldn't be. You could be too dangerous. You could create dangerous levels of THC and produce super skunk. It's like, well, that's what people want, so pay it.
And if they complain about,
I don't even like the super skunk stuff anyway.
No, same.
It's too much. I don't need that shit.
Nice mellow haze, something like that.
Nice something chill where you can get some shit done and do some fucking creativity.
But every now and then, it is nice to keep some strong ass stuff, because every now and then you just want something to blow your head off.
At the end of the day,
for me, like if I get a proper migraine, like a blow off bud spliff, it legit helps.
Yeah.
Like it really helps me.
Burn it down. You're like, okay, I'm good.
It helps so much, man.
Yeah. Right. So, when she was asked to talk on the topic, as you've heard before, she voluntarily recused herself from the policy decisions relating to cannabis. That did the Minister for Policing leads on Home Office policy, specifically relating to the ministerial cannabis licensing decisions, discussions regarding legalisation or the rescheduling of cannabis and the control of cannabinoids. It's just waffle. It's pointless waffle. It's governmental, pointless waffle. It doesn't say anything about what she's done or the hypocrisy around what she's doing. It's fine.
It's just the only way they're saying, like, you know, they're trying to justify it by saying, she's taking her out the decision-making process. So it's like, I don't even buy that she's out of this. But
a really good point to point out that on the BBC, actually, they had someone interviewing someone about it, and she was like, but she recused herself. She had to recuse herself because Theresa May put her in charge of this to begin with. Why did Theresa May put her in charge of it to begin with?
Because it was already the fact to begin with.
Exactly.
It wasn't something new that happened after she won. It was already how it was.
Yeah. And there were people behind the scenes who wanted to make profit out of it, and then it was like, okay, dodgy backroom deal. We're going to make this gradually legal. You're going to be first in the thing. Here's the contract to go out to you.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
So they never really. I'm guessing they never really explained why. Then she put her. No. So what did she actually even do though? What was her job to do?
Her job was basically to be like in charge of policing things like drugs.
Just in general.
In general.
So it was obvious straight away. Okay, yeah, it makes no fucking sense.
There's no reason she should ever have been in charge of it. But again, this is Theresa May who started attacking the police significantly and who happened to have a husband who owns a huge chunk of G4S security, who started getting numerous country...
God, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, numerous governmental
Did not know that. Okay. Wow.
And that leads me on to this, part 2, one rule for them. Where it all began. So, where did cannabis policy in the UK become cannabis policy in the UK? And it's unsurprisingly in basically exactly the same way it turned up in America. Racism. So, cannabis policy in the UK, and this all comes from...
So this is where the policy came from in regards to why it was illegal and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
This all comes from Days Digital, this particular section, and it's a brilliant article on daysdigital.com. You can read it if you want.
Everyone knows Dave.
Yeah.
We all know Dave.
Cannabis policy in the UK is largely contained to the past century, but the drug was known to the medical community for the 60 years before that. Its earliest clinical appearance was in an 1843 medical article reporting its effectiveness for a wide range of conditions, including cholera, tetanus, joint pain, and most relevantly, a 40-year-old infant suffering from constant seizures.
Wow.
The child had
even back then?
Yeah, exactly. Had needed up to 130 drops of cannabis oil daily to stop the seizures. The same paper reported that a willing med student guinea pig consumed only 10 drops before hallucinating that he was a king and ordering his fellow students around.
What? What?
What a lightweight. What is wrong with this man?
I was like, that's not bud.
No, what are you doing?
For anyone that's never smoked bud in their life,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the TV shows have lied to you. I've never... Well, okay.
You can technically hallucinate if you're eating an edible form, technically.
Yeah,
Technically.
Yeah.
But it requires a hell of a dose. I mean,
and a hell of a lot of susceptibility.
And a Goliath dose, realistically. I
was about to say I've never saw anything while I was high,
Yeah.
but then I remember the story of all of my friends being together, getting really super baked, and one person seeing ET, and everyone saw ET in the middle of a forest we was in. We all ran from ET.
Jesus. Well, I would too. Creepy.
I don't know why I would, because even if I saw ET, I don't think I'd have an issue with it.
The finger, mate. You don't want him going anywhere near you with that thing.
Not when you're high, it was scary.
Yeah.
At that moment, in that specific moment, it was scary, and I don't know why. Yeah. I would never understand. Maybe I never saw a ghost as well. I don't know.
Maybe you're just really high. For decades, cannabis could be easily purchased and was touted by pharmaceutical companies as a wonder cure for menstrual pain, headaches, nausea, and other afflictions. All absolutely true to this day.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. So, it wasn't until 1928 that cannabis became a prohibited substance in the UK, when mounting racist fears regarding the drug's social influence among people of colour led politicians, fucking hell, alright, to criminalise it across occupied territories. And then eventually in Britain itself, politicians in the late 19th century have become obsessed with what they claimed as madness caused by the cannabis in the colonies. Or as one MP put it, the lunatic asylums of India are filled with ganja smokers.
What?
I know.
What?
I know. An official inquiry in 1894 finally proved no link between cannabis and mental health or social behaviour in India. 1894.
I mean, there would be no. If everyone was getting high, there would be some.
Yeah, no, but here's the thing as well.
But not violent or angry.
Yeah.
But then again, I have known people as well, though.
Here's the thing, Carl. Oh, I've got it. Yeah, this is my soapbox. Right, so, here's the thing, right? What was the rate of schizophrenia in the 70s? 2%. Roughly 2%.
Okay.
Now, They said for a long time that super skunk was causing a rise in schizophrenia and issues like that throughout the world. Like that's what we were told during the 90s. If you smoke too much weed, you'll become schizophrenic.
Isn't schizophrenia something you kind of just like, you just have though?
Yes,
yeah, you just
exactly.
have it. Yeah.
Because after the huge amount of super skunk that was brought in during the 2000s, you know what the increased rate of schizophrenia was?
Because they suddenly learned what schizophrenia was.
No, nothing.
Oh.
Nothing.
I thought that's all it'd be. It's like, we know what we're looking for now, so we can. So it doesn't rise because we actually know what we're looking for now.
Not even that. There wasn't even an increase.
Oh.
There wasn't an increase.
Wait. Are you trying to say the government's not being honest with us? Because I refuse to believe that,
right,
sir.
isn't it?
I refuse to believe it. No.
But it's true, man. Like this, they've been saying for years. Oh, it's really dangerous. It'll give you schizophrenia. There's no proof of that whatsoever. No.
It doesn't even make sense. I mean, weirdly enough, the one person I knew that used to, whenever he got high, would get really angry was someone that also had schizophrenia. So maybe there's a link in that.
You're goddamn right there is. Because it can definitely start a schizophrenic episode.
Schizophrenia, people don't even realise what it is. A lot of people think it's still like the split personality, but it's not. It's just like paranoia more than anything is a big part of it. And like
paranoia and sort of almost a bit OCD as well. Sort of believing certain things have to be done a certain way.
Yeah. And thinking everything's like against you. That's the paranoia
it's
part.
Very strange.
If you're not sure, EastEnders, the storyline at the moment, one guy. It's good.
There you go. Always relevant, always socially relevant.
I just admitted to watching the soaps on a podcast. And I don't even mind. I like them. They're quite good. Apart from Hollyoaks. Shit.
You really should. Right, so similar efforts were made elsewhere with similarly colonialist overtones. The drug was banned in Mauritius in 1840 due to its popularity among the labouring class. In Jamaica in 1913, due to its demoralising and deplorable effect on the natives, it was pretty blatant display of social control that soon leaked over into Britain itself. And the moral panic around cannabis landed in an international ban in 1928 by the League of Nations.
I find that quite funny because League of Nations is a wrestling group as well, a terrible one.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it makes sense to real thing.
Do you want to know who the League of Nations basically was, though? It was basically just like England, maybe France, America, and like other places that had, an inherent interest in making this.
A particular one, like group, almost as if it was just formed to peddle a particular narrative.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
What a shocker, once again.
Also, an international ban. That's not how laws work. Don't be weird.
Yeah. When was that?
That was 1928.
Okay, it's such a weird thing to focus on as well.
Also, not even that long ago, everyone's like, oh, cannabis has been illegal for ages. It's not been illegal for that long. 1928 is not that long ago.
No.
It seems like a long time ago because we're 100 years from it now. But like this shit was happening during the 70s, like 80s, 90s. Ridiculous shit.
And I feel like cocaine and stuff was legal for longer.
Yeah.
Like from the sounds of it, because that was in stuff for a lot.
Yeah, they still use certain versions of cocaine and stuff like that in medical procedures.
Okay.
Like you can get the what is it? Is it lanocaine or something like that?
Rubbing version of cocaine.
No.
Oh, what is what you were doing when you were doing that, like a rubbing version?
It is a rubbing version.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
It's an ointment that you put in it. It stops pain, but it's not that you can't sniff it. You know.
It's strange as well, though, because when you get high, you're a lot more likely to act a lot more reserved. You know, you're going to be quieter or something, or if you're louder, you're going to be happier as well. You know,
Yeah.
Some variation like that. So blaming people, it's like they're confused. They're just confused with being drunk.
Yeah.
Or being like coked up.
Yeah. And I think it's also the thing of like a lot of times when you're high, you're like, oh, but I don't really want to do a shitty job just so that I can drink more and then do something stupid. I want to do something cool with my life and do something interesting. It's like, yeah, we don't want you doing that. We want you to just do what you're fucking told. Do what you're fucking told. Do what you're fucking told.
I understand that concept of why they would say that, but at the same time, you know for a fact that if you're doing something boring and you get high, that boring thing is going to be a little bit less boring if you're high.
It's brilliant. It's true, yeah. Like I a lot of times when you're sort of doing a boring ass repetitive job, like editing, especially, it's like I could sit here and watch this same bit 50 times over completely sober and literally go insane, or I can burn one down and start laughing at the fact that my eyes look funny at a certain point.
It's very fucking true.
Yeah.
I don't even think about it actually. But most of the time I'm editing and doing any of that kind of stuff, I'm always without even thinking about it. I'm just smoking at the same time.
80% of editors, mate.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. Like, all of you people out there, like, oh no, it's terrible. I don't want it in my drugs. No, you do. Drugs are brilliant because they create great music, they create great movies, and they create even better fucking comedians.
But at the same time, they do sometimes create terrible movies too.
They do.
There are some terrible stoner films.
But that's something you just got to accept.
Yeah, but they're not as terrible when you're stoned.
That's true. Then they're fun.
Then they're more fun. Pineapple Express, still the best one.
Oh, it's fucking great.
Without a doubt.
I love that fucking film.
Fucking great.
Right, so where was I? Yes, recreational use. Cannabis is now illegal to possess, grow, distribute, or sell in the UK. It's a Class B drug with penalties for unlicensed dealing, unlicensed production, and unlicensed trafficking of up to 14 years in prison. An unlimited fine or both. The maximum penalty for possession of cannabis is 5 years in prison and an unlimited fine. A cannabis warning can be issued for small amounts of cannabis, generally less than 1 ounce of herbal cannabis or slightly higher quantity of hashish. If it's found to be for personal use, this entitles the police to keeping a record, albeit one which carries no fine and does not show up on standard DBS check. Cannabis has remained a Class B drug since 1971 Misuse of Drugs Act, except for a period from 2004 to 2009, during which it was classified as a Class C.
Yeah, I thought it went down for a bit.
Exactly.
I did think that.
Yeah, a lower punishment category, which realistically, if
mate.
it's going to have a punishment category at all, it should be in that one.
The lowest one, definitely,
Yeah, 'cause
because it's the most chilled drug out of them all.
Yeah, and it can't harm people.
You can't die from it.
No.
The only way you could die from bud is if you suffocated by trying to swallow a plant.
Yeah.
And then it would kill you.
Yeah, because there's thorny bits. There's not actual thorns even. It's not even. It doesn't even want to poke you for taking its delicious, fantastic weed from it. It just wants you to enjoy it.
You'd have to swallow like thousands of pounds worth, like just to make a blockage enough, like a big giant. I'm thinking however much you need to put together to make like a tree of broccoli, and then try to swallow that tree of broccoli in one go. In the same way, broccoli will kill you.
Yeah.
That's how bud will kill you.
Yeah.
That actually.
You can choke on anything.
Yeah.
Broccoli, weed, penises, you can choke on anything. True. Right. So, the enforcement. The survey year ending 2014, possession of cannabis offences accounted for 67% of all recorded drug offences in the UK.
Wait, what?
67% of all drug offences in the UK are cannabis related.
Do you reckon that's what it is? It's just because it's an easy thing to get people for because you can smell it, you know.
Yeah.
You don't even, and when you smoke it as well, you don't realise how much it smells either. Like, I've been told by people like that don't smoke anymore, that they like, oh, you got a spliff on you. I'm like, have I? Didn't even realise I had like half a spliff somewhere in my bag or something right at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'll have one of them. Nice.
Everyone turns to a
The
sniffer
amount of
dog.
times I've left a joint in my fucking trousers and it's gone through the wash, man. It's like,
I've never done that.
oh, it's horrible.
Not because I don't put my joints in my trousers, I just don't wash my clothes.
Yeah.
Do that.
That's the easy way of solving it. No, it's fucking insane, man. And like the thing is, it's just a bunch of Daily Mail readers and shit like that, and they're like, oh, but I don't like the smell, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. Oh, it's good to fight the criminals, these nasty criminals on my street selling drugs. It's like, but then drug isn't dangerous. They're making money. They're just gonna smoke it and go home. There's nothing wrong here. The only problem is that you've made it a black market. That is the only problem. Because if it's a black market, the only way to survive and to deal with a fucking issue is to resort to violence or theft. You can't do anything else because you can't have a legal ramification to deal with it.
Yeah. It's one of them things, like, I hope that in like 50 years or something, people will look at it like they used to do with, like they do now, with, was it Prohibition?
Prohibition with alcohol, yeah. It's the same thing. It's exactly
That's quite
the same.
glorified as well now, to be fair. Like, that's because it's weirdly, still, once again, it's so strange that alcohol is like, so it's just completely allowed and encouraged and all that. Especially from a government as well that has put in a, do you know about this? They put in a new rule lately that I don't know if you ever watch, like when you're watching TV, you'll notice there's no fast food adverts now until after 9 o'clock
Yeah.
because they're now post watershed.
Yeah, because it's bad for children. It's
Yeah.
like, I am not in a fucking nanny state. What is wrong with you?
But you know, like we do all that, but you can have alcohol and stuff. I'm not saying get rid of alcohol, but when in comparison with everything else, it's fucking ridiculous. The logic only makes sense when it comes to the money.
And the thing is,
That's
it's like, if you're thinking like you're gonna stop kids having McDonald's, you're not. They're all going to want to have McDonald's. The difference between kids who do and do not have McDonald's is the parents who are buying them the McDonald's.
Literally, yes. Like, at least when it comes to, like...
There's not like a 7-year-old running around with, like, a wad of cash, is there?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just fucking true.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. At least, like... And then, like, it really makes no difference because McDonald's is completely, like, aimed towards children.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they go past it aimed towards children. It should be aimed towards children. Well, yeah. It's that kind of stuff. Like, you know, it always has been. Doesn't mean the parents have to take them all the time and make the kids fat.
Yeah, you don't
That's
take
what
them
they're
every
saying.
goddamn day.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
My children would eat McDonald's, like, all the time if they could, but don't let them.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
Same reason I don't give them a cigarette. I don't give them alcohol.
I don't give
what-
them weed.
Much. Not my weed anyway. They have to work and buy their own.
If, I'd definitely share a joint with a kid. Like, not a kid. With my kid.
Oh God! Okay, we just learned something about Nathan there.
Weird, yeah. No, but if I would definitely share a
That's the
joint
beginning.
with my son or my daughter, whoever it is. You know what I mean?
I'm just noting it down. 49 minutes. Okay, that's the beginning. Clip. I would have a split.
But genuinely, like.
Yeah, I'd have a split with my kid.
Yeah.
Kids when they were older and stuff.
Exactly. It's like, it'd be one of those like rites of passage. Like, yeah, we're gonna burn one down. We're gonna sit and chill. We're gonna watch a movie. It's gonna be fucking awesome. You're gonna enjoy it.
It's really strange though because like the way we're thinking about it, like just saying it as well. Then it's so much more acceptable to say that.
Yeah.
About like a drink when they're like 14 or something. But then as soon as like I mentioned the spliff, like even me who smoked spliff for a second and that, I was like, I don't know, that seems kind of weird. But it's like, but I would have a drink of them, and a drink's worse for them.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Yeah,
But it's just
that's the thing. It's like, oh,
embedded into your mind
yeah,
now that
I'd
it's
share
okay.
a beer with my son when he's like fucking 12, but I'm not gonna share a joint with him like at all. It's like, yeah, well, okay.
It really makes no sense. It's hard to try and really grasp it in your head, like why they do this, and you imagine it's literally for the money. I imagine they're making money from it.
Yeah.
And I know, aren't we one of the only countries as well that export a lot of bud or something?
Oh yeah, that's coming up. That
Oh,
in fact,
cool.
we'll get to that. Yeah, let's get to that because we've got to save a bit of time now anyway.
So yeah, because what time were we saying to go?
5:30 really.
Oh, okay, then, yeah.
So the medical use of actual cannabis.
Mary Joanna,
Yep.
Mary Jane, Cannabidill.
Medical use of cannabis was
Icky
legalised in the UK on the 1st of November 2018 after the cases of 2 epileptic children who benefited from using cannabis brought increased public attention to the issue. The children, Billy Caldwell, 12, and Alfie Dingley, 6... sorry, Dingley is a terrible name. I'm sorry if you're watching, but it's not great. Both experienced significant improvements in their conditions after they began using cannabis, but were initially not allowed to continue their treatment under UK law. This led to increased public outcry, particularly in the case of Billy Caldwell, who was hospitalised with life-threatening seizures after his medication was confiscated by authorities.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Felt like it was longer ago. It's so strange. Just the pandemic now just made the last like few years seem so much longer. I think
Yeah.
you don't realise it until you look at it like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing as well. It's still a Class B.
Which is weird.
And a Class B still technically says that there is basically, I think it says there's no medical use for it or something like that. I'm not sure.
That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, but it's still being used medically right now in this country for epileptic seizures. But they still maintain that, you can have it prescribed. A license is available from the Home Office to import prescribed medicinal cannabis. But as of mid-February 2019, virtually no one has been able to access medical cannabis. However, the first standalone CQC registered cannabis clinic was opened by Sapphire Medical in December 2019. Again, it's a big medical company.
I've heard of that one as well.
Yeah, since then, a number of private clinics have opened across the UK. It has been estimated that between October 2018 and 2019, there's been 204 prescriptions of unlicensed cannabis. That's all. That's nothing. That's like one a week.
What, for a year was that?
Yeah.
Okay,
For 2 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, that's 2 a week. It's 2 a week. The law stipulates that GPs are not allowed to prescribe cannabis-derived medicines. Treatments must be initiated by a specialist consultant and may be continued under shared care by a GP or non-medical prescriber. NHS guidance states that the medical cannabis should only be prescribed when there is clear, published evidence of its benefit and other treatment options have been exhausted. Right, okay, so final point here that's really important. We already know it has medical benefits.
Yeah, it's just, we know that.
Yeah.
We knew it before for the last couple of things, but the children prove it.
Exactly, the 18 fucking, whenever it was, 90 whatever, when they did the...
They're all stand up now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, good for cholera, tetanus, this, that, the other, all this fucking shit, which is nasty stuff. Tetanus and cholera ain't no goddamn joke.
I don't know if I mean, that might explain though why I rarely get that sick and I've always smoked bud.
Yeah.
Like that legitimately could explain it, because it seems to be a thing with stoners. I don't get that ill that much.
Not that much. Not as far as I can tell. We just burn that shit down because it's the nature. You know
wow, imagine if we found out that marijuana was a natural resistance to corona.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Now, before I forget, let's bear in mind how much we export to...
Yeah. Of this thing that's not illegal here, that nobody can grow, pretty much.
Yeah, because part 3, the big guys need the money. Inside the farm, this is from an actual thing about it.
Wow, that would be a great thing to do in the second season of Clarkson's Farm.
Yeah, weed, yeah. Identical plants. Look closely and you may think every plant looks the same. Their height, the density of the leaves and flowers. It's not your eyes playing tricks on you to ensure they produce the right qualities for the medicines they help make. These plants are grown in a way that ensures they are all virtually identical. This is, by the way, in a CBD farm, not the actual THC farms that they're...
Yeah, okay. That makes more sense then.
It's not quite a Del Monte moment, but we know when the plants are ready, says GW's Chief Operating Officer Chris Tovey. It looks amazing and the aromas are amazing. Not every cannabis plant smells the same, so a crop here smells distinctly different to a hemp crop or crop expressing a different profile of cannabidinol.
Yeah.
And that is fucking brilliant. That guy's got a great job.
Yeah.
So good.
Well, it's always the same bud, though, is the only thing.
Yeah,
it's always the same
problem.
bud.
And it's shit bud because it's got no THC in
Yeah.
it. Put the weed in. GW is reluctant to see its facility at Wissington described as a farm, preferring the high-tech glass house. State-of-the-art facility includes 24/7 climate control, precise regulation, blah, 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 blah. The growing cannabis industry. In 2018, a United Nations report revealed that Britain was the world's largest producer of legal cannabis.
Wait, take that back. What?
In 2018, a United Nations report revealed that Britain was the world's largest producer of legal cannabis.
That's craziness.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never would have thought that.
I've always said we can grow it here incredibly well, but we don't. For no fucking reason.
It's weird as well, because I'm guessing it's not like you can't just grow it out and about, though, because like you were saying about the grow houses and that.
Do you want to guess how much it is? How much did we sell? In tons. I'll give you a ballpark.
Oh, in tons.
Like a ballpark. It's between 50 and 150 tons.
To be honest, I was expecting more.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you think about
That's
it,
the thing.
that's kind
Think
of
about how
crazy.
much you get in an
forget,
ounce.
yeah. I don't know what.
95 tons.
Fucking hell.
Nearly 100 tons of weed legally produced in the UK.
All that's going through my mind right now is just imagining, I don't know how much it would be, but I'm just imagining this room crammed, packed
and
full.
that was in 2016.
Right.
That's when that data was found. And now it's only getting bigger because they're starting to build another one in Scotland.
Wait, so that was just one place?
Yeah, that's just... Well, no, that's the entire country, but that was an example of one of the places growing it. It's big business. London-based analysts, Prohibition Partners, estimated that the European cannabis market will be worth 106 billion by 2028, while according to the publication Health Europa, the global medical cannabis market was worth $13.4 billion or 10 billion pounds. In 2018, it's predicted to grow to from 2018, it's predicted to grow by 148 billion in 2020 when it reaches 2026. So we're talking $148 billion industry in 6 years, 5 years.
I'm really surprised just by all of that. I knew we export
But again, in 5 years. That's just the right amount of time for big companies to get all of their shit together. They've already got the non-fucking THC variants, all that kind of shit. They're going to start introducing it as a medical thing, but it's all going to be in their own pocket, and they're going to use it to make stupid fucking things like... Where is it? Oh yeah, here's a bit as well. Earlier this year, Savills estimated that the UK CBD market was worth 300 million and is expected to be more than triple that in the next 5 years, making it a potential 1 billion market by 2025. And that's not the psychoactive shit.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just talking about what's being made here and then in regards to it being sold, but that doesn't mean being sold here though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, all of this here, because, and like, it exists, we're selling it, but we're not allowed to use it because it has no medical value according to, like, the vast majority of people. And not even that, but when they say it does have a medical value, you have to use every other available opportunity beforehand. So if you're dealing with like anxiety or depression, you have to go through literally every single other medication, including shit like lithium, which is really fucking bad for you.
Yeah. Is that even a thing they use still?
Yeah.
I've heard of that.
They still use
make
lithium.
batteries out of that, don't they?
Yeah, they still use lithium to this day.
Okay.
And they will force you to go through all of that shit before you get to weed. Say, for example, you're dealing with cancer patients who can't deal with the pain.
Yeah.
They've got to go through months and months of pain with all these various opioids, which will bung them up and make them addicted.
I say opioids are a whole nother thing.
Before they're allowed to go to weed. And not only that, right? This is what, according to WebMD in America, you can potentially use marijuana to help cure treat.
Yeah.
These are the researching things. That's not necessarily a guarantee yet. They're researching it on Alzheimer's disease, appetite loss, cancer, Crohn's disease affecting the immune system like HIV/AIDS or multiple sclerosis, eating disorders such as anorexia, epilepsy, glaucoma, mental health conditions like schizophrenia, post-traumatic stress disorder. Schizophrenia is mainly used with the CBD stuff.
Yeah.
Multiple sclerosis, muscle spasms, nausea, pain, seizures, wasting syndrome. It's not yet proven to help many of these conditions, with a few exceptions, but the greatest amount of evidence for therapeutic effects of cannabis relate to its ability to reduce chronic pain, nausea, vomiting due to chemotherapy, and spasticity, tight or stiff muscles from MS. So it has actual medical reasons to exist. We're still not giving it to people.
And there's two sides of it as well, because you've literally got the body side of the stuff as well,
yeah.
Which is evidence from what you were just saying then, the different things, like you got the body side of it and the mental side of it too. Like the THC can help with things.
It can.
It can be bad for things too, but there's a lot of things it can help with.
It's a chemical. It's not good or bad, it's a chemical, you know, and it can have many uses. The reaction to your body is what makes it good or bad, you know. And it's like cannabinoids here. How does it help? Cannabinoids, the active chemicals found in marijuana, are similar to chemicals the body makes that are involved in appetite, memory, movement, and pain. Limited research suggests cannabinoids might reduce anxiety, reduce inflammation, and relieve pain, control nausea and vomiting created by cancer and chemotherapy, kill cancer cells and slow tumour growth, relax tight muscles in people with MS, stimulate appetite and improve weight gain in people with cancer and AIDS. Actually, there's a really nice bit on a Penn and Teller episode of Bullshit where they're talking about, like, have you ever seen Penn and Teller's Bullshit?
It's not a magic thing.
Oh no, it's not a magic bit.
Okay,
like, basically, the two magicians do they turn up and they just give you like factual information about really cool subjects.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them's weed in America, and it's like they talked to this one guy who was a doctor back in the 50s, and his son had cancer, he had leukemia, and they had to go through all the chemotherapy and stuff like this.
Yeah,
and he'd been told, cannabis is evil, it's terrible, you should never give anyone cannabis. And
The devil.
Yeah, and then he gave his son some cannabis after they, he'd been to chemotherapy.
Yeah.
He'd never kept any food down. Smoked it. He was just like, Dad, can we get a Subway? Like instantly.
Yeah.
And that kept his son around for an extra few years. Like, it gave him a fighting chance. And his son did eventually succumb, unfortunately. But maybe he wouldn't if he'd had access to the weed straight away, if that was a common thing available. And that guy spent the rest of his life...
Either way, it helped him. So that's just the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely relieved his pain. Yeah.
That's the thing, from smoking it, you hear these things, and like people that don't smoke might not understand it as much, but you can just completely understand a lot of these things, why it would help certain things, like...
Yeah.
Like the immune system, all the other ones, obviously the eating and all that, just makes perfect sense just from the things that people hear anyway about it.
And shit,
yeah. But then like the immune system and stuff, like I've thought that for a while, I think it really generally helps the immune system.
Yeah.
Cause like we're saying, it just seems to be a thing that most stoners don't get ill that much. As soon as there's a cold, then your whole circle's getting this straight away.
Yeah. Not during the times of COVID, but yeah.
No. Been good at it. That's one good thing about COVID. You've been able to be selfish a bit more.
I'm going to smoke this entire one down by myself. I'm terribly sorry.
Having a reason, or you don't need a reason, like when somebody comes and asks for a spliff randomly.
Yeah.
But which I had not that long ago, and I find that very strange when someone comes and asks randomly, like not even just in COVID times, any time, can I have a couple of drags on your spliff? Like
no, this is precious to me.
Yeah. And I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Even if I knew who you were, maybe then.
If I say yes, then suddenly there's fucking blue lights. Like
yeah. That cannabis dealing?
Oh, I'm going to run out of power at some point soon. Right, okay, so here's the thing as well. WebMD in America. By this point, America is so far ahead of us. WebMD says this. How do you take it? Take medical marijuana, you can. Smoke it. Inhale through a device called a vaporizer that turns it into a mist. Eat it, for example, in a brownie or lollipop. Apply it to your skin in a lotion, spray, oil or cream. Place drops of liquid under your tongue. How you take it is up to you. Each method works differently in your body. If you smoke or vaporize cannabis, you may feel the effects quickly. If you eat it, it takes significantly longer. It can take to 1 to 2 hours to experience the effects from edible products. That is in a medical fucking website's details. And how do we get to have it in the UK?
Do we actually even have generally, because I know we have a form of CBD in like Holland and Barrett and that, but is it even proper CBD?
It's sort of. It's just
a lot of it seems like hemp seed oil.
It's
stuff
not
more
as good because like you can get better CBD from actual weed plants supposedly, because these ones are more hemp based and they're designed to never produce it.
I had to search so much to be able to find something on Amazon that was actual proper CBD for like this cryogenic roll-on thing from Mom, because Mom got like really bad arthritis and that, and she'd never used it, and she just refused to. She was like, it's not going to help, and all the idea of CBD and that. I finally got her to use it. I got that. Straight away, she was like, this is actually helping. I'm shocked. And she's kept using it ever since.
Because it's good.
It's fucking good.
It works.
But the thing is, it's expensive even more so over here to find the proper good stuff, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 40 quid for like a tiny little tube that we use, and it runs out in like a week or so. It's fucking expensive. But
and this is the thing, this should be on the NHS.
Yeah.
But it's not, because big companies want to be the ones producing it. And at the moment, it's little companies, little mum and pop organisations who actually give a shit. But no, they're not allowed to be the millionaires of the future, because that would be far too fucking easy. What type of cannabis can be prescribed in the UK?
Okay.
Cannabis in the traditional sense, such as resin or leaves, cannot be prescribed. Because again, that'd be too fucking easy. You'd be able to grow that yourself. How is anyone going to make profit off of that, you fucking wasters?
That is one of the big arguments as to why it's illegal and that, because it's so easy to create yourself. But I don't know.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to do it. You can grow tomatoes.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty silly explanation for it, because, like I said, you can legally make alcohol. Doesn't mean everyone just can.
No.
There's only a small portion of people that can make it and then make it good.
Yeah.
So,
The NHS guidance says that there is only one cannabis product licensed as a medicine in the UK, and that is Savitex, the mouth spray produced by GW Pharmaceuticals, the people who own the CBD farm.
Oh, God, okay.
The bigger one we went into later,
Yeah.
not the initial one owned by British Sugar.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All other medicines are considered unlicensed. And that means you need to get a special specific dispensation for them. That's why it took so long for them to get those fucking cannabis oils to those people and to get it consistently. Because you had to keep writing a fucking dispensation from an MP every single fucking time.
I remember them talking about that actually at the time.
It's stupid and it doesn't fucking work. There are 2 synthetic cannabinoids. So
you basically need to like give her an explanation every time you want it.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if they just happen to miss it or be a lazy twat because they're an MP.
Yeah. It's not like you're writing to a specific place for that. It's like you're trying to get this MP to do this for you. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of this should be available on the NHS, or even better, just to fucking buy.
Yeah, realistically, just to buy.
Yeah. There are 2 synthetic cannabinoids outside the current definition that are available. Nabilone, a synthetic non-natural cannabinoid, so basically synthesized in the same way you'd make fucking spice.
Because that's better. It's always better to go for the unnatural version of the natural thing than the actual natural thing.
The natural thing that you can grow easily and just produce. No, we'll make a synthetic one because that way we can own the way to make it. Because otherwise you can't. You can't own a plant, but you can own the rights to a process to make a certain type of drug. And that is what this whole conspiracy is about.
There's something as well, Farley, my scientist mate that I said it came down, and he was telling me about this version of bud that's been made now or something like, I don't know what it is, it's like THC9 CB8 or something, something like that.
It's not worth trying.
No, it's just shit from what he said. It's just a lot worse, but it's just a legal version of something. A legal
version of it, it's is it Delta 8 THC, is it?
That Delta sounds very
Delta
familiar.
8 THC, yeah, I keep hearing Ari Shafir talk about it on his podcast.
I didn't even realise. Yeah. I imagine that could be an entertaining podcast with Ari Shafir because he's just a dick. Yeah. He's just a prick. But people that are pricks and they're more than happy to, they're owning the shit that they're a prick are so entertaining to listen to. Yeah. I love
and he does admit he's a prick.
That's absolutely fine then.
Yeah. Nabilone is a synthetic non-natural cannabinoid. Yeah. And dronabinol, a synthetic nature identical version of THC is listed but not market authorized, quote unquote. So where does all the weed go? Epidiolex was approved for use in Europe in September, but in draft guidance, NICE initially stated it was not value for money. It costs between $5,000 and $10,000 per patient per year. But the manufacturer, GW Pharmaceuticals, has agreed a lower discounted price with the NHS. It's estimated there are 3,000 people with Dravet and 5,000 with Lennox-Gastaut syndrome in England. Those are people who could really do with those kinds of drugs because those similar types of things as the kids were dealing with.
Was that Gastaut syndrome, did you say?
It's really hard to say. Lennox-Gastaut.
Oh, okay.
I believe it's French. The other treatment, Sativex, is a mouth spray that contains a mix of THC and CBD. It has been approved for treating muscle stiffness and spasms, known as spasticity, in multiple sclerosis, but doctors will not be allowed to prescribe it to treat pain. It was the first cannabis-based medicine to be licensed in the UK after clinical trials, has been available in the NHS in Wales since 2014. It costs around £2,000 per patient per year. And again, they're giving people fucking, like, opioids.
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time, like when he's talking about the pain and that. It's like, how, I just don't understand I can't understand.
There's no logical reason.
Yeah, it's just, obviously, it's just trying to even understand what logic they even use.
They don't have any. There isn't any. It doesn't make sense.
I would just love to see, I'm sure there's probably loads of fucking examples, though, of, like, just them just being asked point blank, like, what is the logic behind this, and it doesn't have no answer.
Well, yeah, there are. There's loads of things on YouTube. None of these ministers know shit about drugs either. That's the thing you got to remember.
That's the thing as well, actually, yeah.
None of them know a fucking thing apart from what they want to know, and then they'll use that to...
They'll just chat shit, basically.
They'll toe the party line and do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they'll use a little tiny bit of information they've got to, like, go with, and then that way they're not lying in a sense, they're just very uneducated on it.
Yeah. So, in conclusion...
That's bullshit, no, they're just lying.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, it's
No.
always bullshit. Yeah. Part 4, conclusion. It's always about money, and it always has been.
And it always probably will be.
Yeah. If weed was prescribed as it is, the cost would be minimal, but instead they claim it's dangerous unless they have made it safe, which costs money. And manufacturing...
But tobacco's safe.
Yeah.
Just clarify that.
Yeah.
Tobacco
That's,
is
so
safe.
that's safe. You can buy that anywhere. That's okay.
Safe.
Yeah. And vodka.
Safe.
Safe. You can drink that anytime you want.
Absinthe.
Yeah, absinthe. Totally safe. Totally safe. All good.
And you will feel the next day.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that blank so you can put any description you want there because
yeah.
she'll give you a hot... Oh,
It's
God,
not
that
good.
stuff's lethal.
It
is kind of good, though. It is.
Yeah. But they even take out some of the best parts of the drug, as we've seen. You take out the THC, or they reconstruct the drug from a fucking chemical template. Like,
Yeah.
if you want to use the fucking drug, use the fucking drug, you morons. And we know the reason why is because you own the fucking rights to make that shit.
I don't even like it being called a drug, generally.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just not a drug. It's literally just a plant.
There's a great comedian, I can't remember who it was, he goes, it's not really a drug, it's more of a confusing spice. So instead, we waste time, energy and effort so that the product that you make is legally owned. They own the science, they release the licenses, hand out to people the government know when suits them. There's no reason to use the actual product. It's cheaper. There is no reason not to use the actual product.
Yeah.
It's cheaper, better and safer, and we still have all the proof.
And
Calvo was eventually granted a 20-day license by Java to be treated with cannabis oil. This is the kid. They don't really believe it's dangerous. They don't believe morality will break down. They just want the money and they want the license to own a plant.
It's fucking hilarious. Morality will break down because we're just fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. That reefer madness shit.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. That's definitely the thing. You see people like in America coming out of dispensaries, breaking shit up.
Yeah.
Just rioting. As soon as they walked out, sparked that split up, they're rioting the fuck straight away.
Yeah.
It's just happening all over the place.
Here's the final bit. This is a quote from former Tory leader William Hague, a man who I hate.
Yeah, I recognise that name. Who's that person?
He's a bald fuck.
I know exactly who you mean now.
Yeah. He went one step further, calling for the legalisation of cannabis recreationally. He said the war on the drug has been irreversibly lost and a change of policy was needed. By returning the medicine to the Caldwell family, the Home Office had implicitly conceded that the law had become indefensible, he said. Licensing cannabis for medical use would be a step forward, he said, but the Conservatives should be as bold as Canada, which recently voted to legalise cannabis for recreational use.
And a lot of parts in America as well, bit by bit, are getting more recreational with it as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Because it's like pretty much legal everywhere, like medically now, I think, over there as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of places are recreational too.
Yeah. But this is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who just want to keep the money for themselves, and they're doing it anywhere they can because you can't own a patent on a plant.
And unfortunately, the crazy thing is though, you think, like I was about to say, well, it can't be long until something changes with that then because there is no defence about it. But the problem is, there's a lot more things in the world that are going to take precedent for a long while yet.
And they don't really care. Like they've still got a lot of supporters in the Daily Mail who just go like, oh, but you know, it's terrible. It does all. It's not. You know, the reefer madness shit again.
It's another thing that just sounds like you're getting like. It's just I hate those kind of like this phrase I'm about to say because it's the kind of thing, you know, like. It sounds very conspiratorial, but it's all like just all the damage is done because of the smear campaign that's been done to it non-stop.
Yeah,
like,
you can't really win with the generation that came before us, but you can sort of. I mean, our generation don't really give a shit.
I don't know any like even. Yeah, our generation definitely don't give a shit. Even the generation just above us, like even like my mum's generation seemed to be swinging around. But then again, actually, I say that, but I'm around like council areas and stuff like, you know, and all that, and no one seems to have a problem with it. I don't know what it's like over like.
It's the same. Well, no, actually, mine's fairly sort of rural England, so everyone's all, oh, you can't be doing that. Oh, I don't fucking.
Which is strange because like you meant when you say rural, that's like, you know, more country and stuff. Yeah. So it's weird because I don't know, that like the farming thing and all the country kind of stuff. It feels like it plays in well to bud and stuff, like that would make sense there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people who do, but there's so many old people. That's the thing. in the country, and they're all the same. Like, oh, it's horrible, it smells terrible. That smells fucking beautiful. Listen to the man who was working in the goddamn farm. He was like, oh, it smells fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, unfortunately, I think we're probably going to have to cut it quick because we've got to get going.
Oh, shit. I didn't realise it was 25 past.
Yeah. But, let's do the plugs on the way out.
Yeah, plug-wise, KD Comedy Inc. as always. Going to be having a return of the comedian quiz-off coming very soon. I'm actually going to host one again and going to make Callum defend his title. Got another In Your House coming soon as well, and stuff. Stuff.
There's always going to be more Kill Them With comedies as well.
Yeah.
As for me, as always, Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse, available on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts. And there's going to be a gig in Faversham, although I don't know anyone who'll be watching who'll be anywhere near Faversham. At Faversham Fringe with a few other comedians, annoyingly not Carl, but we'll see, how it goes.
It's weird because normally I get the annoyingly part from me being on the lineup, so that's the strange. That's the other way around. It's weird.
But the thing is, it'll all work out. I think we've got a really good group of comedians there, so that's going to be good. And Leanne Easthope, Richard Dadd, and Jazz Matu. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. I can't be entirely sure. I haven't met the guy yet, but I'm assured he's fucking brilliant. So come along and watch that. 1st of August, 7:30.
That's a good point. I forgot about talking about live gigs. I've got I can't remember what fucking day it is now. 5th of August or 6th of August. 6th of August? Probably the 6th of August. But there'll be a giant 5 popping up right now, but it's not on the screen anyway. Glass Eye Comedy in Ipswich at the somewhere.
The somewhere.
It's in the description.
That'll pop up on the screen as well.
I've normally got it down. I got my laptop in front of me when I'm doing this. I didn't think about it till now, and the laptop is over there recording us, so I'm powerless right now. Everything's been taken away from me, but
that's it.
We are done then. Yeah. Let's get this finished. We are going to get ourselves up to the Bush Fest.
Yeah, we're going to drive over there very quickly and hopefully not kill anyone on the way. But when we get there, we're going to kill them
with comedy.
Hell yeah,
with comedy. I'm definitely on it today.
Yeah. Right.